What is going on, everyone? Today I'm going to make a video. It's time to, well, it's not time to, we have 2,000 miles on the X3, and I'm also going to do a kind of a 2,000 mile review. I know there's a 1,000 mile review that I did. I'm going to do a 2,000 mile review right after this video. So, but what I'm going to do, we have a ride coming up. So with 2,000 miles, I've got on the original belt. So as long as you break the belt in correctly and stay in low when you're supposed to and in high when you can, I think belts will last. There's no telling. I think my last machine, my regular OG Maverick, we had 4,000 miles on the original belt. As long as you, and I smoked it a few times in water and stuff like that, just as long as you know when to stop and all that good stuff. So, but anyway, 2,000 miles, I'm gonna go ahead and change it just for the heck of it, safety. And I'm gonna use the old one that I take out for a spare. So just in case something happens right on the trail, I'll have a spare. And I'm gonna keep it in the machine pretty much. But I'm gonna go ahead and put a new belt in, and I'm gonna drive it around here at the house and stuff like that and break the belt in, warm it up, cool it down. And then we'll probably hit some Hatfield trails first, and then just make sure I get the belt broken in good. Some people say you gotta break them in. I think you do. And then some people say just give it hell. But I'm gonna break it in just to be on the safe side. So far, I've 2,000 miles on that one, and I kind of broke it in. So anyway, what we need today to do the belt change, super easy. You can do it at home, very, very easy. All you need is your toolkit that comes in your machine, the BRP toolkit, and then it also comes with the little clutch tool and the little Ziploc baggie that comes with your machine. So they make toolkits like quick change for the clutch, secondary clutch out there. I don't know how much they are. They're probably 60, 70 bucks or something like that. Makes it a little faster in the trail. But this, as long as you have your toolkit. So basically this is the little bolt that goes in here that kind of pushes and expands your secondary clutch that loosens up the bolt. And it comes with a 13 millimeter wrench. That's your 13 millimeter to fit that. And your T30 Torx, that takes the bolts off of your cover. That just takes the bolts out of the cover. And a flathead screwdriver that comes in your kit also. And you can use that to take the little hose clamp off that goes into the cover. And then you can pull the cover right off. The cover slides out and down. I've already taken the cover off, but I'll go around there and show you the driver's side rear. That's where your clutches are and everything. So what you do, I've already taken it apart, but this is your hose that goes from your CVT intake box above into the top of the cover for your clutches and your CVT. Two hose clamps, one at the bottom, one at the top. You don't really have to take this off, but I can take one more hose clamp out and it's just, just get it out of the way. Once you get that out of the way, these are all T30 Torx screws. Loosen those up, the cover just pops off, slides right out the bottom or the back. So you can just kind of take that off, set it to the side. So here is the 2,000 mile belt. I mean, I can look at it, which I don't know if you can see in the, looks pretty darn good to me. Usually you'll see, if you see glazing and stuff on the belt, you'll see it on the edges. That's where it really rides in here. But it looks good. Everything looks good so far. I think it'll make a good back at it. I'm doing it, like I said, just out of precaution. 2,000 miles, that's pretty good on a belt, I think. So, and the good thing is they're really easy to change on the X3. Everything's easy to get to. Like my OG Mav, it was a pain in the butt to get to the cover here. You had to take seats out, plastic off, all that good stuff. But this one's super easy. You can change this on the trail in 15 minutes. So once you get the cover off and the hose out of the way, or if you leave it hanging, you take the cover off. You take your little thing that came with it. I always just screw the bolt in, start it kind of there, and then you just take it in your secondary. Take this in your clutch. It's threaded. You just kind of got to get it started in there. Which I'm trying to do this one-handed, sorry. Okay, I got it started. You just kind of spin it. I have the machine in neutral, so I think you will have to turn it just to put the belt back on it and stuff like that. So now you can actually turn, your clutches will turn and all that. So I like to turn it to where what you'll do is As you can see on here, there's some holes for, like, I think you can adjust the springs. You'll see this flat spot. There's a couple flat spots. That one has like little indentions on it. But take this, you don't have to tighten it all the way. Just take it until it gets to one of those flat spots, because what this bolt does, once you screw it down, it just kind of pushes that in, and that's what loosens it up where you can get your belt right off. And I've seen the video from S3 Power Sports, I believe. When they did this, he took like a little penny. He took a penny and stuck it right behind here, because once you turn that, it'll make a little mark in that. Not a big deal. It's not going to put a hole in it, but if you put a stick of penny right behind it, it'll mess the penny up instead of your aluminum, or what, you know, as far as that's concerned, as far as putting a mark in it. So what we'll do is I think I have a penny here. I do. And I've got my trusty Milwaukee little flashlight here hanging. So you'll take that and kind of slide it and then tighten it up. Once you snug that down a little bit, you'll take your wrench, or I'm going to use a 13 millimeter on my impact just to kind of make it faster. So once you do that, you just tighten that up and it goes in, and you'll see your belt start. See, now it's tight. Everything's good. So once you do that, you'll see the belt loosen up. Now that I got two hands free, what I'm going to do is get in here and just kind of place that penny right there behind it. Snug that down there. We're in the flat spot, so we're not on top of any of these circles or whatnot. Now I'm going to take my impact. Let's see. I've got it enough. Nope, let me tighten it just a little more. All right. If you go too far, it'll come off the edge of the penny because it's spinning. But that should be good. See how the belt's loose now? And then what you do is you just take your hands in there and just kind of work the belt off of it. Like so. A lot of people run liners in here. That will help. If you ever, if you're hard on them and you blow a belt, it helps keep from destroying your belt housing, but it gets tighter. Like some people say, it's harder to get the belt out, but we don't ride too crazy, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. But anyway, belt came off pretty easy. There's your clutch turning there. So I'm going to save this and I'm going to grab the new one. Like I said again, I don't know if you can see it from there, but belt looks pretty good. I mean, it looks nice. It's going to be a great spare. Could have probably left it on, was fine. It wasn't really jerking or anything like that too bad, taking off. But 2,000 miles, I just want to be on the safe side, and then I'll put the new one on and carry this one for a spare just in case. A lot of people, while you've got this off and your belt and everything off of that, I'm gonna go ahead and stick the new belt on, loosen it. People want to blow the clutches out. Like there's a lot of like belt dust in here, which every ride you're gonna get belt dust. My brother-in-law had I think the clear cover on his. So basically every ride, his clear cover on the inside would be like gray. So he'd have to almost take his cover off, clean it. Because this thing, even under normal conditions, you get a lot of brake dust. So I'm going to go ahead and take the air hose and try to just stick it in here, and I'm going to unscrew this, or I can't unscrew it right now, but I'm going to stick the air hose, and once I put the belt on it, I'm going to blow it out and everything like that. So let me grab the new belt. First off, I'm going to make sure she's the same, which it is. These belts, they have a rotation arrow on the belt. So the rotation, and it's pointing this way. So we're going to go toward the front of the machine. We're going to put it back on the same exact way you took it off. So slide it under that way, and you can kind of go the same exact route here. Once it squeezes in there, you just kind of feed it, and boom, it's on there. So once you kind of just wiggle it and all that good stuff and make sure it's on there, everything's running freely. It's just kind of sloppy in there. You'll loosen this back up, which I'll do now. Let me turn this over here where I can get to it easier. All right. Put this in reverse. Boom. Once you get that all the way loose, my penny fell, of course, you just unscrew this, put that back in your tool pouch in the glove compartment, whatnot, both of these. Very important for the trail if you don't have that extra tool. And once you do the belt, you'll see it's still loose. Now you just need to give your clutch several good rotations until it locks her in there good and tight. Look at that, now she's good and tight. Fresh new belt. And that's it. That's as simple as changing it. Now you just put, I'm gonna blow it out a little bit, stuff like that, try to clean them out. So now the only thing you do is put your cover back on, tighten your bolts around here. I think it's like 4.5, 5 foot-pounds of torque. I just give it a good snug. Don't overdo it, because it's actually threaded into plastic. The screws here are threaded into plastic, so I wouldn't go too much on it. Put your hose clamps back on. You're done. I mean, your belt's changed, but like I said, just break in your belt. I think you need to crank it, run it around, no wide open throttle for the first just a little bit. Ride around and get your belt temperature up for a few minutes. Not, don't hold it all the way, don't floor it, and don't, up and down, let it sit, cool for a little bit, and then ride it a little bit more. Let it sit and cool for a little bit. That'll kind of just break the belt in, and I think you get a lot of life out of it. 2,000 miles is pretty good, but I'm sure I could probably gotten double that, if not more. But anyway, I'll blow this out, put everything back together, and we'll be done. All right, put it all back together. I didn't want to bore you with putting the screws in it. It's pretty simple. Just kind of stick it on there, put the screws in it, just kind of snug them all up a little bit, and then just, give them a good little like that. Or I think it's 4.5, 5 foot-pounds of torque. So the hose clamp, as you can see right there, that's the one you loosen, and I took that one off, just loosen it and it slides right off. And then the one at the top, right there, it's pretty easy to get to with the little ratchet with a little socket on it. So I took that off. You don't have to take it off, but once you put that, just kind of snug it back up, make sure your bolts are tight, you're ready to go. I blew out the clutches. I would do it outside if you can. I have a fan, so I just stuck the fan right here, and as I was blowing it, it was blowing it pretty much out the door. So it wasn't too bad because it was, because it's raining outside. I didn't really want to bring it outside, but there's a lot of dust in these things. So especially this is 2,000 miles, it was a lot. Every ride it gets dust in it, but it's not too bad. So I blew them out. Now it should be good. And put the thing back on. Put the cover back on it, and now we're ready to break the belt in and go riding again. This is the belt for the people that were part number. This is from Can-am OEM right there. This machine is a 2021 X3 Max Turbo, XRS Turbo RR, so I think it pretty much fits all of them, especially the RRs. I'm not sure about the Rs or anything else, or I'm not sure, like I said, about the 22s with the new P drive, but I wouldn't see why not. So anyway, if you like this, hit a subscribe. I am going to do a 2,000 mile review. Tell you anything that's went wrong, this, that, and the other. But again, guys, hit the subscribe button, hit a like if you found this helpful, and we will see you again.